is Engineer Silas Kinoti. I'm the Director General of Kenya Urban Roads Authority, and I'm also the Board Secretary of the Kenya Urban Roads Authority Board. I am a fellow of the Institute of Engineers of Kenya. I also happen to have been awarded by the President Order of the Banding Spare, that is EBS. I believe across the road sector, I'm the one who is the highest recognized in that honor. About Kura. Kura is just a state corporation under the Ministry of Roads and Transport. And if you look at the history of the reforms in this country, where Kura, Kura or KRB came on board, it's been a journey. Started way back in 1996, when with the support of the World Bank, we started doing what we called road maintenance initiatives. And these ones were driven by the fact that the sector realized that there are challenges. One of the challenges is that we are actually depending on the network which it did in post-colonial or pre-colonial, just in the 70s. We are not putting up any new network, so there was a need to increase the density of road network in Kenya, and then that's why the reforms were required. We also realized that we are not even maintaining roads. We are just rehabilitating, because we constructed no roads. From the 70s, 80s, we are not doing any new roads. We are just maintaining roads until it came a point that now maintenance is not happening. They're just rehabilitating. Even if there was any maintenance, another challenge, it was very inappropriate. It was not really, in a manner which was, adheres to the norms of road asset management. So there was a need for reforms in the road sector. And then, as I've said, with the support of the World Bank, we arrived at a point whereby we agreed that we need to build a sector which is supportive and which will give us a network which supports even the government at large. And then we call them the building blocks. I think there are 4 building blocks which supported the road initiative, the road sector reforms. One of them was ownership. And ownership was that we wanted to empower the road users. Let them realize that the road they are using are their assets. Because even in terms of axle load, we don't want somebody who is overloading the trucks, overloading their vehicles. They should realize that whatever they are damaging is theirs. So that was one of the blocks, to have kind of an awareness, tell the public that this asset is yours. That's the ownership bit. The other building block was on financing. There was no dedicated financing for road management completely. It used to have the normal government budget, and then what goes to health, what goes to education, what goes to roads maintenance, it was all in one kit. So there was need to have a dedicated fund for road maintenance, and that gave the birth to Kenya Roads Board. The other building block was now responsibility. Who is responsible for what? That is why roads were now classified into Kura roads, that is the urban roads, classified into rural roads, that is now Kera roads, and also classified into national highways. And that now gave birth to Kena, Kura, and Kera, which came in effect at around the year 2009. That's when all the authorities became operational. I remember that issue was really very pronounced on the responsibility of roads. When I was working with local government, I happened to have come from local government background. I was not in the main Ministry of Roads. I was a municipal engineer in Mombasa for many years. I was a municipal engineer in my county, Meru, for many years. When I was in Mombasa, working in the Mombasa Municipal Council, when a road is bad, it belongs to the ministry. When the road is good, it belongs to the county. So every time I was being asked, that road is not good, I would say that belongs to the Ministry of Roads. But when it is good, it belongs to the municipal. So there was that confusion. So all these reforms were meant to clear that. So each agency were given their roles. In ambit an effort to enhance that building block of responsibilities, the roles were classified into class S, A, B, C, D, E, F up to G. And what happened is that class S and A and B they are being managed under Kura, under Kenya. Those are the highways. Class S, I think, is this the superhighway, the superhighway is a class S road. Then class A, the national highways, and class B, those are being managed under Kenya National Highways Authority. Then I think class C are being managed under the Kenya Rural Roads Authority. Then all the others, D, all down ones are now under the county governments, under the current regime of the devolution. And Kura manages what we call urban class A, urban class B, and urban class C. So roads in urban areas, they are also classified into class A, B, C, but they get the urban connotation. So anything is urban class A is managed under Kura, urban class B, and urban class C. Now all aspects of providing the road come into management: designing for construction, rehabilitation, and maintenance of road. That's where the management aspect comes in. You can construct new roads, you can maintain what is existing, or you can rehabilitate or reconstruct. That's the management aspect, including traffic management, including managing what is within that corridor. When I joined Kura, I think I would say like 10 years ago, I started being the CEO of Kura. I'm a few months to being 10 years in this office. I couldn't be the longest serving CEO. There was a kind of Kura working under the table. Let me use that one for lack of another one. There was no pronouncement of what Kura is doing. I believe that Kura is just working in Nairobi. But Kura works in all corners of this country. For example, in Lamu County, there's a town called Mokowe Township. In the year 2013-14, around there about, or 2015, we started a project of upgrading that town. We did around 15 kilometers of new tarmac in Mokowe town, which changed. Mokowe is the county headquarters for Lamu County. And I've said this before, Kura did the first tarmac road in Lamu County since the one was created. The first tarmac road. Kura also did the first tarmac road in Ola Township road. Ola Township. Ola town is a headquarters for Tana River County. The first tarmac in that town was done by Kura. The first tarmac road in Wajir County, not Wajir, sorry, Mandera County, was done by Kura. And we have done so many other goals. We are targeting into doing roads in county headquarters. In some counties, the underground county headquarters, they didn't have even a single tarmac, except the main highway, which is passing through. And we have done many kilometers of roads in county headquarters, and I can count all of them. Narok County didn't have a tarmac. They just had the road to Bomet and the road from Narok to Nakuru. Only those two, those are the tarmac roads there. But when Kura came on board, we have done around even over 10 kilometers of new roads in Narok. Kajiado town, which is a headquarter of Kajiado County, didn't have a single tarmac until it's only the road to Namanga which was tarmacked. The rest were just other roads or gravel roads. But when Kura came on board, we have now been able to upgrade Kajiado and give it a facelift to be called a county headquarters. The other town where we also made some changes is Londwa. Londwa also the same, didn't have a tarmac road, but when we moved on board as Kura, we are able to give it a facelift. And I can say it is Kura. What Kura did in those towns, in Eldoret town, in Nakuru town, is all made them become cities. I keep saying Eldoret would not have become a city if the contribution of Kura, of course, through our ministry, because we did almost over 60 kilometers of new roads in one town, and that made Eldoret become a city. Nakuru, we did around 40 kilometers of new roads, that one tarmac roads, and that one made Nakuru become a city. We are continuing to do the same. Now we are opening up tourist areas in Nyanza area, Rusinga Island. We are doing a ring road around the island. If you know the Rusinga Island, I think by June this year, we will have done around 20 kilometers of ring road in Rusinga. And if you, I invite you to go and visit that area. And I keep making a joke that before we started doing the road, you can find a very good beach plot, but it's a maze, they are planted maze of bananas. But the moment you started doing the road, what is happening now is that you cannot even get a plot there to buy. They have all been taken. The same thing in Fangano Island. We have opened up the ring road in Fangano Island, around 50 kilometers. We are now looking for funds to upgrade it to tarmac, which is going to change the tourist attraction and even move from Mombasa to Nyanza in terms of resort hotels and all that. Kura is in range of around 4,470 kilometers around there. Roughly 4,500 kilometers of roads. I am aware we have not been able to reach out to all of them in terms of maintenance and all that because of resources, but our target is to ensure that all that network is eventually upgraded to sustainable urban roads and environment. When we first started, we started with 2,500 kilometers. During the first declassification, we were given 2,500 kilometers. During the second declassification, they came to around 3,000, almost 4,000, and now we have been given more roads. What I can tell you is that there is, initially there was, when the devolution came, the first lot of governors wanted to take all the roads. And they were saying, what is Kura doing? We were even, I remember the first time after devolution, we didn't have a budget for almost 2 quarters because the governors wanted all the roads. So the classification was such that we were given ferry roads. Like if you go to Voi, you find ourselves working in the rural areas because the governors they thought that roads, they wanted to manage the roads, but little do they know that managing roads is a science. It's not something which is not easy. What is happening now is that we are getting a lot of correspondences from governors, from leadership, wanting now roads to be declassified back so that they can be managed by Kura. If you look at the government financing system, Kura is a grant recipient. We do not generate our own resources, just that we are starting. So we have several models of financing. We get money through road maintenance levy fund. That is the fuel levy, commonly called fuel levy, for maintenance of roads. We have our share. Out of the whole RMRF, we get 15%. And that is basically for maintenance of roads. We also get money from the national government, the exchequer, for development of new roads. We also partner with development partners, World Bank. Right now we are working with the Spanish government. We are working with the Korean government. We are also working with the Chinese government in terms of partnership and getting money through them. We are also developing our own regulations to improve on what we call the A&A, what we can generate internally. I know Kenya are much ahead of us on that because they charge, their fees and charges have been gazetted. We are also in the process of making sure that we generate our own revenue for to just to enhance our capacity to maintain our roads. We have an ambitious program which we call the Intelligence Transport System, the ITS. That is signalizing junctions and making sure that they manage themselves. With that program, it has a component of generating fines. And we are looking at using those fines to maintain those traffic signals and also maintain our roads. And if I can give you the numbers, there's a lot of money which you can generate from there. But we are first creating the infrastructure, and the infrastructure is having enough e-police cameras for you to capture as many violations as possible, so that now you can start getting the fines. We already have cameras on the ground, and I know if you have kama umevuka mataa mahali tumekushika tu, but we are not pronouncing it because we need to create the legal mechanism for me to be able to fine you direct. Currently, the system as it is, any traffic offense or any traffic violation, you need to be taken to court. And the judge or somebody or magistrate or a judge has to say guilty as charged. And then you can be fined. But we are looking at a way where we can change the law to make it instant. You violate the law, that if you just jump a light, you get a message on your phone, pay this amount of money. That's what we are looking for. But that is really a game changer if it works in terms of revenue generation for maintenance of roads. And the insurance, financing, we don't have adequate financing to maintain our roads. We are building many roads, constructing a lot of roads, but there is no commensurate money to maintain the same roads. So there's also maintenance backlog. Recently, you saw what happened in our roads, and we are seeing the effect now. I can say uncomfortably that I'm not happy with the condition of our roads now, even especially in Nairobi. And most of it was now the effect of climate change. We had El Nino the other time, then the excessive flooding. What happened in Nairobi, it's really not good thing for our roads. There's a big challenge on issues of climate change. Another challenge which we are really, I don't know how going to deal with that, still consulting, is vandalism. I'll give you a scenario. In the last regime, we remember there was a time when there was a ban on scrap metal. Yeah. It was banned, I think, for around almost a year. We recorded 0 cases of vandalism on our road furniture. Anything metallic on the road, inaenda tu. But the moment it was lifted, we had along Nangata Road, within one night, almost 10 street poles were just like harvesting. They were just cut and they went. Outer Ring Road, you saw same. You come overnight and you find the guardrails, all of them, they are not there. If you use Gong Road, we end up median, a metallic median around the road. It's as if they harvest. So vandalism is a key challenge to our roads. We are working with the county government. It has to be a whole government approach for people to be told that whatever they are vandalizing is theirs. Honestly, we have worked with the police. We have arrested people. We take them to court, but people come to bail them out. They are the ones who benefit from the scrap metal. So we need a proper regulation of what is the source of raw material for these steel industries. I was happy the other day the president commissioned the DEVC plant using natural iron ore to make steel products. But you can ask yourself, all these other steel industries around, where do they get their raw material? It is from our roads. So that is something which I really... another challenge we are having on our roads literally is, I would say, waste management. And from an urban perspective, waste in terms of solid waste and liquid waste. You know exactly what happens when it rains. Sewage just bumps on the road, and then you see garbage all over. We are doing performance-based contracts in the Eastlands area of Nairobi. When the contractor comes and cleans the streets, the public thinks he's a garbage collector. So they will just go collect their garbage all over in the estate. In the morning, they just come and dump there. So it's a big challenge. We need to. But I am aware that the county government is trying to create a mechanism where they can use garbage to generate energy or to generate power, which is very good. If that one works, then garbage will be so, and it will be so, the demand will be so high that nobody won't see it anywhere. People will be coming to your house and asking you, what waste do you have? We can carry it for you for free, if that works. So those are some of the challenges you have in on communication channels. We have our website. When you see something, you can always go to our website. You can post it there. The other thing, we are also on social media. In fact, our Twitter handle is one of the most active one. Not positively, for every 10, 8 are attacking us, 2 are the ones who are positive. So our Twitter is very active. Even our Facebook is very active. We also have an hotline, which you can call. It is free hotline, and you can call 24/7. It is there, it is available. You can always communicate to us, even if it is through writing. You can come and write to us. And also, you can come here to Barabara Plaza for anything. We are also lucky that everybody is here. This one-stop shop for all road activities. You want anything from Kura, everybody is welcome here to Barabara Plaza. We get a lot of communication, especially through Twitter and Facebook. A lot of feedback from the public. Another issue is that for all our projects, we have what we call public participation, and we invite everybody. That's another forum where people can tell us, and we get a lot from there. Even a small project you want to do, we always invite people through the leadership, and we tell them what we are doing. And through that forum, we are able to get a lot of information and feedback from the public. But I would like to be remembered for creating or having developed what you can call a sustainable urban mobility. I would like to be remembered for maintaining roads, or constructing roads, or rehabilitating roads, are just providing urban mobility, which is sustainable, which is safe, and which is reliable. By that I mean is that everybody should be able to use, every road user should be able to safely and freely use the road, comfortably share the road, so that the people can walk on the road, people can cycle on the road, people can drive on the road without any conflict. That's what I would like to see for most of our towns, where we have designated areas for pedestrian, for cyclists, for motorists, to enhance on the issues of safety. I would also like to see more and more improved infrastructure in urban areas. As you know, urban areas are the engines of economic development. For your information, 70% of our GDP, 70% comes from urban areas. So generated in urban areas, especially in Nairobi and other the big towns. Nairobi alone contributes to around almost 60% of our GDP. For those, if you look at a few years back, people are asking us, why are we doing a lot of roads in Isili? We upgraded so many roads in Isili, deliberate program, because we wanted to enhance the economic development. We realized that Isili is like a business hub of Nairobi. And even now you can tell me what is happening in Isili. The biggest mall in Africa is is in history. So it was deliberate for us to do roads there, because that is where the economy is growing. Another area where we focused on a few years ago is Upper Hill. We went to Upper Hill and realized that we needed to upgrade those roads. Because Upper Hill is becoming a business center, moving away from the CBD. And now you can see whatever is happening there is now is history. Many institutions are moved there and are supporting the economy of this country. I would also like to see a legacy where professionalism is really embraced in this institution. What we are trying to do is, Kura is a technical institution, just like Kena and Kera. The welfare of engineers who are working here, they should be motivated for them to be able to work efficiently, to demonstrate statesmanship, patriotism as they work, so that they are not motivated by other factors apart from what they are supposed to do. So I would like, for me, as when I leave Kura, I want it to be a premier employer of engineers and other technical staff. I think across the sector, there are programs for mentorship and career, professional development through IEK. I know we are working with IEK, working with the Engineers Board of Kenya to bring on board internship to engineers. And then when they come on board, we have now what we call the mentorship, coaching, and all that. I know in Kura, Kera, and Kenya, the rate of registration of engineers is very high because of the mentorship. Because when they come on board, they are taken quickly through a program where they can easily register. And in Kura, I keep challenging the seasoned engineers. Can you ensure that you transition an engineer every year? Get an engineer, a young engineer, hold their hand and ensure that within a year an engineer registers because of your effort. Don't rely on the effort of the engineer who wants to register or develop professionally. Also put your effort. Can you mentor somebody? That's a challenge which you normally give. And I can say, even if you go to the records, across Kera, Kura, Kenya, the rate of registration is very, transiting to professional engineers is very high. It's very high. So those mechanisms are there. I would also just want, it's management of roads in urban areas is a bit different from doing the rural highway, doing the rural roads or the highways. That is why actually the government decided that an urban body which addresses urban roads should be there. And one of the reasons was now urbanization. Currently, we are around almost 35% of us are living in urban areas. By the year 2030, talking about 62%. You can see the demand for infrastructure is there. So we, as an institution which targets developing infrastructure in urban roads, we need to be alive to the fact that the challenge is there. And the only way you can be able to counter that is also leveraging on technology and building the capacity of the professionals. As we do bypasses in town. Now we have done bypasses in Nairobi, Meru, we have done bypasses in Eldoret, through Kenya, and we are going to do them in all other towns so that we can improve traffic movement. We also need to develop the capacity of our engineers to be able to embrace new technologies in design, new technologies in road construction, and all that. We cannot sit down and keep relying on, the old technology in terms of designs. These days, design is don't even need an engineer to do design, to do engineering. There are softwares which you can jump download and be able to do design. So you need to move away from the conventional way of managing roads and even embrace on technology for us to be able to catch up with the rest of the world, what they are doing. Yeah. So technology, you can't run away from that. We can't also not run away from the effect of climate change. We can't. As Kura, we are working with some bodies of the UN to develop what we are calling climate resilient infrastructure for urban areas. And I think on 22nd of this month, we have a stakeholder engagement. And we will make sure we invite IEK and invite everybody to come and give feedback into the policy. Because we realize that we just do infrastructure, it rains the following day and then it's gone. So we started from a policy point of view. What can we do so that at policy level, whatever we do is climate resilience? And we are happy to have gotten support from UN Habitat. I think some other bodies are at the UN office to develop that policy. Thank you.